Good morning everyone. Today's vlog brings us to a place called Stanton Low. It's pretty much about a mile out the back end of Milton Keynes. Would be on your way to perhaps Northampton. The area itself is very quiet. It's a cold day today, pretty brisk. I'm standing by the side of a nature reserve, which I believe you have to pay an entrance fee, so we're not going to be going in that. But what the main reason we are here is for the old ruins of St Peter's Church. Now, I've been doing a few explorations of places that are derelict, especially churches because of the graveyard aspect, but this one comes with an urban legend. Whether it's true or not, I'm not sure, but it makes for an interesting story. So I'll read the story to you and then we'll go and explore the actual ruins itself. I believe this is some rugged old sheep's pen, cattle pen, etc. Which just adds to the eeriness of the story.
In or around 1485, the Stanton Low local was gripped by a werewolf panic. Throughout much of the continental Europe, werewolf epidemics were relatively common at this time and generally went hand in glove with witch trials and purges. In Britain, however, where werewolves have long been exterminated and were no longer a credible threat, it was generally witches and not werewolves which were seen as the only real present evil. Nevertheless, the village was gripped by primitive fear of the lycanthrope, and with livestock being slain left, right and centre and children going missing, people began to leave. The depopulation of Stanton Low began in earnest in 1487, and by 1516 the exodus was complete. In 1520, one Thomas Pipe, a seasonal farmhand, was captured by the militia and accused of shape-shifting. He was taken into St Peter's Church and restrained by the mob as two priests attempted some kind of exorcism-cum-interrogation. During the ordeal, in which Pipe was blamed for the demise of the settlement and the scattering of its families, the holy men attempted to cast the demons from his body. Pipe was said to have writhed and snarled, cursing the Stanton Low would never again thrive as a homestead, and the church building would crumble to dust. He emitted a long wolf-like howl, then died. Over the next 400 years, the area was repopulated at least twice, but each attempt was doomed to failure, and the village was mysteriously deserted again on every occasion. The only constant throughout this time was a church, but by 1950, after 700 years of religious service, this too was abandoned and quickly fell into disrepair. Even now, nearly 500 years after Pipe's untimely demise, there are occasional reports of eerie howls coming from the empty fields and ruins of Stanton Low on the night of the full moon.
This old wall probably goes back around 400 years, maybe even longer. The place certainly has an eerie feel to it. Imagine at night or in the fog, it'd be 10 times worse. And all you've pretty much got is sheep, cattle, the odd dog walker about. There's a family over there having a picnic. Apart from that, we're here by ourselves. Wow, that is an old ruins. not a heck of a lot left of it now. I mean, you've got tombs, gravestones all around, and they're ancient. Said if it wasn't for doing the likes of YouTube, I would not even have known this place would have existed. We only lived around the corner years back, but I suppose you don't look for these things. In its own way, it's quite beautiful. Let's go and have a look inside. I believe the roof come off this place in the mid-1950s. Don't know what that's all about. Not a lot to it now. But it's certainly a nice place to come and visit out of the way. Rachel just wants coffee. She's done her bit, she's told the story. I'll give my view on this story in a minute. A little bit windy out today. Hopefully it's not affecting the audio too much. So the question is, what even happens to these bodies that would have been here? Are they exhumed and taken somewhere else? Were these gravestones just left here as a mark? It just appears sad that there would have been families involved. Maybe the families no longer exist. But yeah, you're not going to decipher any words from that. It's just too old and too derelict. That's what it would have looked like. Not so much anymore. And you've got the ruins of St Peter's Church there, and behind us, which is Stanton Low Park where we are, this would have been an old manor house. There's nothing left of that at all, just a mound. There's a plaque here depicting what was here. It all looks pretty much gone. That's where it would have sat, in this area here. Nothing remains. See, everything has an interesting story. Now standing in the centrepiece of what would have been the old manor house. Extraordinary views if you lived in this area. Rach over there reading the placards. It's all gone. Nothing left of it at all. There might be something underneath this mound I'm on, which just seems like a grass bank, but nothing here, no old walls that depict that it was actually here. What do they do with it? They just move it, throw it away? Seems strange. This would be your River Ouse that comes through Buckinghamshire, makes its way up north, I know it certainly goes through York up north and then goes out towards the sea at some point. Okay, so what's my view on the story about the curse of the werewolf in this area? Got to think about it, is it's a bygone era, 4 centuries ago easily, if not longer. Around this time you would have people, it's commonplace that farmers would put out a call for people to look after their dogs, etc. if sheep are getting attacked. It happens all the time. Dogs go off the lead, they attack. It's just nature. Now, that period of time, it could have happened. You would have had lunatic asylums going from centuries after that. So it's not saying that people weren't mad around that time, but there was a belief. You've heard of witch trials. They actually happened. This country, countries throughout the world, people just had a different opinion, different religion were persecuted as witches. So why not be believed to be a lycanthrope, werewolf, etc. It's strange to actually think and put into views like that, but yeah, children go missing this day and age. So for children to go missing then, it's no real different. The creature-like thing itself, that's probably an urban legend that's been elaborated over the decades and centuries, and we come to what we know now as the story that goes with the ruin of the church over there. But yeah, I just think if you can put in mind that there was the likes of witch trials, warlocks would have been a male version of a witch, and people would have been persecuted. They would have been thrown in the river behind me probably, and if they didn't drown, they were classed as a witch and burnt at the stake. So why not, with the fear of what was going round, people get in their mind the illusion of some sort of creature, and it doesn't have to be an actual werewolf, but the thought of it is there. So okay, it seems feasible. Let me know your views. It's certainly an interesting backstory. It was just something I come across when we was looking into finding these ruins. I did not expect to find anything. I thought, okay, go see some old ruins, have a chat about what it looks like and how it's fallen into disrepair, but did not expect to find a werewolf story. But there you go. Anyway guys, we're moving on to our next location, which is going to be a viaduct and an aqueduct and a few other bits and pieces. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. I'll catch you in the movies. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. Take it easy.